The crowd inside the arena expected something fast. The Millrose Games always deliver that. Records fall here, careers launch here, legends leave fingerprints on this oval. But what happened in the women's 3,000 meters was not just fast. It was domination measured in seconds. Doris Lemngole stepped onto the track as one of the brightest talents in collegiate distance running. She left it with a performance that shattered the collegiate record and forced the entire distance running world to pay attention. From the opening stride, there was intent. The pace was honest, not reckless, not cautious, honest. Lemngole tucked into position with calm control, her stride light, posture tall, arms compact. She did not look like someone bracing for a long fight. She looked like someone who already knew the outcome. Through the first kilometer, the tempo signaled something serious. The splits were aggressive, far beyond tactical championship jogging. This was a clock-chasing effort, the kind that exposes weaknesses quickly. By the halfway point, the field had stretched thin. Gaps opened, faces tightened, but Lemngole remained smooth. Her cadence did not falter. Her breathing did not betray her. Each lap clicked by with mechanical precision. Indoor racing magnifies everything. There is nowhere to hide on a 200-meter track. The turns come fast. The pace feels sharper. Any hesitation compounds instantly. To maintain rhythm indoors at near-record speed demands supreme efficiency. Lemngole had it. With 3 laps remaining, the energy in the arena shifted. Spectators sensed history. Coaches leaned forward. Commentators began calculating projections. The collegiate record was no longer a possibility. It was a target directly in front of her. When the bell rang for the final lap, she did not tighten. She did not glance around in desperation. She accelerated. That final lap was not a survival lap. It was a statement lap. Her turnover increased. Her form remained compact. Her knees drove high. The finish line rushed toward her as the clock ticked down toward a mark that few collegiate runners had ever imagined touching. When she crossed the line, the time confirmed it. The collegiate record was gone. Not clipped by a fraction, not nudged downward. Dismantled. The magnitude of that performance cannot be overstated. Collegiate records in distance running are protected by decades of excellence. They are guarded by Olympic finalists, world medalists, and athletes who went on to dominate professional circuits. To erase one so decisively is rare. Experts immediately began comparisons. The time she produced was not just impressive in an NCAA context, it was competitive on the global stage. Analysts noted that her mark would have placed her firmly in contention at recent editions of the World Athletics Championships. That changes the conversation entirely. This was no longer about being the best college runner in the room. It was about belonging among the best in the world. Distance running greatness is built on 3 pillars: efficiency, strength, courage. Lemngole displayed all 3. Her efficiency is striking. Watch her stride closely, and you see minimal wasted motion. Her foot strike lands cleanly beneath her center of mass. Her shoulders stay relaxed even as pace increases. That economy matters late in races, when oxygen debt overwhelms less efficient athletes. Her strength is even more telling. The 3,000 meters indoors is unforgiving. It demands aerobic capacity and lactate tolerance in equal measure. You cannot fake it. You cannot hide behind tactics. When the pace is relentless, strength becomes the separator. She did not simply hold pace, she sustained it with authority. Then there's courage. Running that fast from the front requires belief. Many collegiate athletes hesitate to chase global-level times, preferring tactical wins or safe positioning. Lemngole chose the opposite path. She attacked. That mental edge is often what distinguishes champions from contenders. The implications stretch beyond one race. Performances like this hint at range. A 3,000-meter effort of this caliber suggests enormous potential in the 5,000 meters and perhaps even the 10,000 meters. The aerobic foundation required to run that indoor time translates outdoors. With longer straights and smoother pacing, even faster marks become possible. History shows that indoor breakthroughs often precede outdoor ascents. When an athlete demonstrates the ability to control a race in the tight confines of an indoor track, it signals readiness for bigger arenas. But records alone do not define legacies. Consistency does. Championship medals do. Longevity does. So the question becomes what comes next. The path from collegiate star to global icon is demanding. It requires careful management, intelligent training progression, strategic race selection, avoiding the temptation to peak too early. The body must adapt gradually to higher mileage and more intense sessions. Recovery becomes sacred. Margins for error shrink. If guided wisely, this performance could be the foundation of something extraordinary. The distance running landscape is currently rich with talent. International fields are deep. Finals at global championships are tactical battles where positioning and patience matter as much as raw speed. Lemngole will eventually need to navigate those complexities. Yet what she demonstrated at the Millrose Games suggests she possesses more than just speed. She possesses composure. Throughout the race, there was no visible panic, no frantic glances, no dramatic strain until the very end. Even then, her finishing drive looked controlled rather than desperate. That composure under pressure is invaluable in championship settings. The psychological impact of such a record should not be overlooked either. Competitors now view her differently, coaches game plan differently. When an athlete shatters a long-standing mark, it shifts perceptions instantly. Confidence multiplies. For young runners watching, her performance redefines possibility. Collegiate athletes often measure themselves against historic benchmarks. When one of those benchmarks falls decisively, the ceiling rises for everyone. There is also the broader narrative of progression in women's distance running. Times that once seemed untouchable are now challenged by new generations trained with advanced science, smarter recovery strategies, and global exposure from an early age. Lemngole represents that evolution. Her preparation clearly aligns with modern principles. Balanced mileage, targeted interval work, strength development integrated seamlessly with endurance training. The result is an athlete capable of producing elite-level times without visible strain. Still, caution remains essential. Distance running careers are marathons in themselves. Injuries lurk. Overtraining can sabotage promise. The next year will be crucial. Building gradually rather than chasing every headline opportunity will determine sustainability. If managed properly, she could soon transition from collegiate phenom to international contender. Imagine her lining up in a global final, the pace honest, the field packed with seasoned veterans, the stakes amplified by millions watching worldwide. Based on what unfolded at the Millrose Games, she would not be intimidated, and she has already shown she is willing to push boundaries. The night she dismantled the collegiate record was not simply about numbers on a scoreboard, it was about announcing readiness, about demonstrating that the gap between college dominance and world-class competitiveness can be bridged decisively. There will be tougher races ahead, tactical battles, slower-paced championship finals that demand a devastating final 400 meters. Learning to navigate those scenarios will complete her development. But pure time remains the universal language of track and field. And on that night, her time spoke loudly. It told coaches that she belongs in professional conversations. It told competitors that a new force has arrived. It told fans that the future of distance running is bright. Most importantly, it told her that the limits she once saw are expandable. Records fall. That is the nature of sport. Yet some record-breaking performances feel different. They feel like turning points. Doris Lemngole's 3,000 meters at the Millrose Games felt like one of those moments. Not because it was unexpected, not because it was lucky, but because it was controlled, confident, and emphatic. The stopwatch confirmed the magnitude. The manner confirmed the potential. And now the world waits to see how high that potential can climb.